Thank you. I'm good.
Good to see you.
Thank you. It is a pleasure actually to join you this morning. Yeah, so that we can tackle this topic as well.
Right.
Yeah, my name...
Cephas Kimani.
Yeah.
We call you Cephas Kimani.
Yes. Yeah.
Who exactly is Cephas Kimani? You know, there are those who maybe they are finding you for the very first time.
Right, right. My name is Cephas Kimani. I also am a show presenter right here in Boss TV. I do have a show that is called The Talk Circle as well, whereby we normally discuss issues concerning the youths mostly, and factors, you know, in concern and matters of society and the youths as well. Yeah.
So generally, you normally touch on the youths?
Yes, of course, we do, mostly. 99%.
Why is it so?
Because, you know, the future is all about the youths, you know. The moment we engage and we talk on matters that, you know, we can assist the youths for the future purpose, it will become, you know, better. And for also both our society and also the generation that is also coming.
Right.
Yeah.
Of course, there's so much talk out there
Yes.
in relation to the way the youths are coming up and how they are being involved in different matters.
Right.
Do you feel like we've given the youths the opportunity and we've also had to create time and have discussions that pertain to the youths? Why is it so much out there that mostly people talk about the youths, the youths, the youths?
Yeah. Currently, I think there has been an improvement, to say, because we've seen that even the general public itself, they are trying to advocate, you know, about issues that are really affecting the youths. We've even seen currently also there are different organizations that have come in order to empower the youths themselves, even in leadership, you know, from the school systems and everything else. Because, you know, we normally know that if we don't talk about the youths, especially right now during whereby we are heading, you know, to the general election, there are some virtues that we should, you know, maybe give to them, or even some advice whereby at least it can assist them in the near future, even coming during the political, you know, atmosphere, the way they should conduct themselves, what to expect, what is also expected of them as well. Yeah.
Right. And you've mentioned something that we approach in the 2022 general election.
Yes,
And youths out there have been given that call to come out and register as voters.
Right.
Why is it a concern that people are pulling and pushing these youths to take up these votes?
Yeah. It is because currently we are seeing that there will be a change in a way that, you know, if the youths themselves come out and register and also, you know, do vote in the near future, it will assist them as well for the future in order for them to know what are sort of the leaders that they do want, you know, for themselves, even for the future and even currently as per se. Because we have seen that in the recent past that majority of the people who could make a say in the, you know, the political atmosphere or the political space, mostly it could have been the older generation that made an impact on it.
Right.
But even right now we are trying, and I think even the majority of the youths are coming even out and advocating that they do want to become, you know, political leaders in the near future, in order for them, you know, because when you're a youth, you do understand directly what is affecting the other youths out there. You know, it is better also you can be able to engage with them as well directly.
There are youths out there who feel like they do not understand.
Right.
Why are we being told to go and be voters? You know? Is there a core reason as to why every single youth who has attained the minimum requirement to become a voter should go out there and register as a voter? Do we have any kind of reason?
Yeah, we do have a reason. Because I do feel that, you know, it is, you know, etiquette, and it is well for, you know, the youth, because we are a certain quite a bigger population, and our population percentage per se is also high, you know. So if we do, as the youths, if we do go out there, register, and when it comes to the, you know, voting process or the voting time, it will be quite, you know, fortunate for us to make our own decisions for our future in a way that we'll know who to appoint, why we are appointing that person. And also, we are leaving, you know, like a role, for the younger generations also to know that, when we attain a certain level or a certain age,
right.
we can make a certain decision that will impact ourselves in a positive manner as
Right.
well. Yeah.
Are we going to have an election minus this population that you're talking about here? And what is the possibility, if at all the youths can be reluctant not to vote, to go out and pick the voting cards and go ahead and vote?
To my understanding, I feel that, even if we say that the youths cannot, or if they can be reluctant as well, to go and engage themselves in the voting process, I feel that it still won't be as smooth as it is supposed to be, because the older generation as well, they're not, at a higher percentage, because we've seen that over 35% of the youths, and talking about the youths, it's someone who is 18 years to 34 years of age. So that means that our country is made up of majority of the youths, and then the other older generation and the kids and stuff take the other percentage. So it is only fair for for the youths as well to be engaged not only in voting, but also to be given some political space as well.
Right.
For them to know, because if they are given the political space, they will even know how to engage with the youths out there and influence them in a positive manner.
Right.
Yeah.
Very true. But we'll be coming to look at the political space, how it is right now for the youths, and what exactly needs to be done to try and also create a cool environment where youths can also engage in candid conversations about our politics, where we are headed to. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, that is what we are discussing this morning. Matters about the youths, quite different. It's not the talk circle. This is Good Morning Boss. Maybe they can be confused to some extent.
Yeah.
The talk circle you mentioned, it's always youths.
It's about youths. Very true. Yeah.
Right, as we proceed with our discussion, remember we'd like to engage you into the discussion as well. Talk to us, specific you as a youth out there. Do you feel there is not need for you to go and pick up that voting card? The exercise has been rolled out, 30 days of voter registration. We are only done with a few, we've done 4 days, we're remaining with another 26, but the numbers are shocking enough, and according to the IBC, they're saying they are registering very few individuals who are walking into the registration centers to pick up these voting cards, and this is quite a worrying trend. Considering also, I did say that mostly people tend to wait for the last minute rush to try and go and have long queues and get this voting all process. But that brings me to another question here, Cephas.
Yeah.
Looking into the way our youths tend to behave, there is that mentality of, no, let me wait. There is still more 26 days to go.
Right.
I might go to at least 1 day before the lapse time.
Right.
Do you feel like that's the way we should do it?
That is actually quite unfortunate, for someone, or maybe for people, to have that stereotyping kind of thought, whereby that the youths can be, slow into reacting in that sort of manner. It is quite unfortunate to those individuals among the youths who might think that they still have time. It is better to be prepared psychologically. Actually, even by right now, most of the youths should know, the sort of leaders that they do want. We have had a situation whereby even our political leaders who are aspiring, even not the ones who are in right now, but even those who aspire to become political leaders, we already have clues, their kind of agendas that they're put for the youths, among the youths. So the youths themselves, by now, they should have known that it is their right and their responsibility to take that step, go register as early as now, and then sit back and then make that decision on whoever politician that you're going, to elect.
Right.
Yeah, in the near future as well. Yeah.
But and this point, they say that they need to at least wait for the time to just go pass, and during the time at which we are close to finishing the exercise, the registration exercise. Now, when we see most youths rushing into the centers to pick up the voting cards, if a youth is watching right now and he does not feel there's a necessity of me going and picking up that card for now, what would you say to them?
I will say make the right decision, which is the earlier the better. There's no need anything that is done, at the last moment. most of the time doesn't come in or happen in a very nice manner. So it is well for them, I think they should engage themselves earlier enough. I'm not saying that even at the last time they shouldn't. Better late than never, that's for sure. But it is it is better for someone just to go, register as early as possible, maybe take your card, the voting cards, as early as possible. Right. Yeah, and then engage in communication with your peers and talk about the politics that is ahead of us.
Right.
Yeah.
Very true. Do we have a need for the youths to even have a discussion surrounding the politics? People are saying that they're chasing their own lives.
Right.
And there's that phrase out there, kwamba mimi napambana na hali yangu.
Clearly.
Do you feel also this is something that youths are supposed to engage in, matters about politics?
I do feel so, because we can look at this in two angles. In one angle, whereby the youth themselves want to engage themselves in the political atmosphere, whereby they want even to stand and say that they want to be politicians themselves. And on the other angle, we can look at that person or the individual or that peer group, whereby they want to say that we need a certain leader who is in this sort of way or this sort of manner, and the agendas that they put through. It is very important, even for the youth, to come together, get educated on
Can they come together?
They should. They can. Of course, they can. They can. It is high time, actually, that we preach unity. We preach, love. Because I do believe that whenever the youths come together, they are going to be outspoken and talk about advices, issues that affect them themselves. When we talk of coming together, the agenda of coming together should be because of change. Because of change. When we come together and talk and discuss about our political atmosphere in the near future, we should be like, what do we need? After this term, what are we going to have? What will be the end result? What change do we want for ourselves? Because if it's educational sort of manner, the backgrounds, or if it's the economical factors that are affecting the youths currently, all that should be discussed. Different places, different organizations should be held, for the youths, definitely.
You've mentioned something there to do with youths engaging into discussions, primarily that, of course, touch their lives in one way or another, talking about the economy of the country, the way we are being governed, politically speaking. But it's quite unfortunate to see that once these kind of sessions are being organized, we see few individuals, particularly the youths, who come there and have to discuss about that matter. People tend to say that, I better go look for money somewhere, go look at how I'm going to get income, rather than going to sit at a place and discussing something of which, at the end of the day, I know that according to their mentality, they know that nothing much will change out from it. They say that these kind of discussions, we normally have them, but there is few our recommendations that we give out during such meetings are not being acted upon, and things are just the way they should be. And that's why they feel like there is no need of them to try and engage into such sessions. Is that the case?
No, it's not the case, because actually that is why we are talking about and why we are trying to tell the youths to come forth and register for voting, because that is where the impact begins. We can come as peers, or the youths, we can come together and discuss matters that should lead to the political atmosphere for our own benefit. But the truth is, the moment we engage ourselves in voting, we are the ones who are going to pick up the sort of leaders that we need, in our future. So even as we have this sort of discussions for our own selves, as we have the discussions, and then we end up voting in large numbers, of course, there will be change, because we will have elected, the leader that we sort of need and want for our future.
Do you feel also the youths out there feel like somebody has failed them? That's why they do not even want to engage into matters about politics. Well,
the youths sometimes feel they have been affected negatively, but a lot of things do affect them. It could be the social atmosphere, it could be the economic part of it, it could be even the political as well that you're saying. And in the political atmosphere or in the political realm about it, it could be because of the, the setup and everything else. Because I've seen that even the, maybe the government or the county government as well, some they have, come up with ways at which either directly or indirectly, they're trying to assist the youths right now. It could be by providing jobs, by providing education as well. But we can't say that we have been failed by a certain system. But what I can say, in my own opinion, is we should also make that decision for our own selves, whereby if we feel that we've had a certain leader for a while, or the same type of leader, someone who comes and says, I'm going to do this for you guys, there's going to be change in this field or in this area, but there's nothing. It's up to us also to, to become more wiser and make the right decisions before engaging into the election, in a way that we should know for our own selves. We should know, what are we looking for? Why are we going to, vote for this person? Why are we going to elect this person? What is the main agenda as well? Right. We are not going to elect someone because, this person is a youth, or we are not going to elect this person because of the educational background, but because of the agenda and what impact is going to come with that, out of that process as well.
Very true.
Yeah.
Right. Allow me now to take a short break here. When we come back, we'll have a discussion surrounding how can even the youths be a change in the society in terms of using their voting card.
Right.
It's that piece of paper, that piece of card can bring a lot of change in relation to the way we are being governed, and can bring a change also into the lives of the youths themselves, and also mentioning about how our leaders have started to realize that the youths also should be given that opportunity. That's why they are pushing the agendas of the youths out there.
Right.
Why is it now? Where were they right from the beginning? And of course, many more of whatever will be coming our way, courtesy of our morning discussion. Our politicians have now begun talking about the agendas of the youths.
Right.
And the youths out there are asking, where were they?
That is because the political leaders, those who are there even before, they have come to a realization whereby they've seen, the youths do have a certain say, in our country, both in the economical, area and other areas as well. So for them to come up with these agendas right now, it's because they have seen what some of the youths, we kind of need in our society right now, and how it affects, how the youth themselves do, the impact that they do have to the society. And that has made them actually to come up with ways at which they can, have this sort of mindset whereby if they agree to do some things in the near future, even the youth themselves are going to keep on electing them as well. We have seen in the recent past as well, whereby some political youths also have come up and have said that they aspire to become leaders in the near future. And all this is because they've come to a realization whereby they've seen that the youths are not getting adequate support, either financially in the education sector as well, and even in resources. We find that some youths have come in different fields in, for example, in the jua kali industry the jua kali sector. Some people do need some items. It could not just be financial assistance, but even the resources, either by providing sufficient transport or even materials, And basically, I think, or I feel that for them to come up with these agendas, it's because they have seen that there's a certain sort of support that the youth do have as well.
And also they have felt that, you've mentioned here, that they feel the youths have a say.
They do have a say, and actually big say.
Looking at this, on the point at which they have a say, do you feel also the youths out there have understood and they begin to realize that, yes, we have a say on the way we are supposed to be governed?
Most definitely. Right now, the youths have come to a realization to themselves that they do have a say, either in the governorship and also in the electoral process, whereby they can make the decision on who they want to appoint come to the near future or in the next general election. But also, as we talk about, the economy of the country, if they decide to elect a certain leader, they do know that even for their own selves, they get a certain advantage in a way that they can build the country and also leave, a great mark for the coming generation.
Right.
Yeah.
Very true. Are we having a revolution with the kind of politics that we do in the country? Talking about looking at how there is so much focus into whatever affects the youths. Do you feel this revolution, it's timely, good enough? And whether if there is something that we can, as well as we as the youths, is it time that we need also to embrace this revolution and use it to change our lives?
Right. The revolution is actually to a greater percentage in advantage to the youths because we find that through this revolution, we end up getting political seats in the near future. We end up also to our own selves. Our voices are being heard as the youths. Our cry and lamentations are heard, whereby in case there's a sector or in a certain field that we need assistance, basically from the society itself, not only from the political, leaders or anything, but through that, our cries and our lamentations are heard in a way that will make a change for our own selves. It will bring a positive environment for us to work in, for us to also live in as the youths in this country as well. And we've looking at also other countries, maybe our neighboring countries and also maybe abroad, we've seen that this sort of revolution brings an impact also not only in the political field but also economically, because we end up being, motivated, coming up with creativity and new ideas on how to run stuffs and how well we should also as well, conduct ourselves as the youths.
Right, very true. And that is also something that needs another discussion on how we as the youths are supposed to be conducting ourselves and make sure that we stay in line, and we should portray also a picture out there that our leaders should even start taking it seriously.
That's true.
Because they say that it's upon us how we conduct ourselves and how we behave. It's how then our leaders are going to take us. But of course, now we're shifting gears into that single card that we are going to pick during this exercise. That is the voting card.
Right.
And the biggest question is, how powerful is this card?
Well, that card actually is very, very powerful. It's so powerful in that that card can affect, generations from now. Because that card, having that, you have more power in a way that you can make a certain decision that will also make a sort of setting for also the future, for the next generation and generations to come. You find that when you go to make when you go to vote, right, you will elect a certain leader, and that leader depends. It depends with what magnitude and what exactly they're going to do for us in our future. Maybe say 5 years from now, 10 years from now, that impact will still be seen. If we elect some sort of leaders who are not going to do anything in our society, even come 10 years from now, we are going to say that there's no legacy that was made. But if we do elect leaders who are going to, make a positive impact and leave a legacy that is seen, it will be talked about even in the near future, the next generation and generations to come as well. Right.
Youths face a lot of challenges, starting from the way it is in the country, issues about unemployment, opportunities to do business, and so many. We also have the COVID-19 pandemic, which has also largely affected the youths in itself. Do you feel by the power in this card, some of these problems can find solutions?
Most definitely, I do. I do agree to that 100%, because you find that, as we have said, when we as the youths do know the sort of leaders that we need, right? And even as we elect leaders who are also the youths in the political, setup, they will understand, and they do understand the sort of things that we are going through as well, the sort of things that we need, the support that we need as the youths. And by that, it will mean that even as the government is formed, they will know what resources or at which field and which field and which field and what resources they need to allocate in order to bring up, the youths as well.
Right.
And this could be in a way that it will end up helping people to get employment opportunities, adequate education. We can also see creative sectors whereby they can be assisted in a way that, by the politicians or the political leaders in that setup, because they do know that the youths are the ones who are active. We are so active in a way that we build the country, we build the economy, we build the economy also for the future and the generations that will come and take up from where we're going to leave that mark as well. Yeah.
Right. If by any chance all these aspirants that we are having in different positions ahead of the 2022 general election, how close should they work with the youths?
They should work extremely close with the youths. By working close with the youths, it means that they will get to understand, directly what do the youths need. When we are setting a sort of agenda, what do we need to put, on our agenda? When we need, to motivate these young people to go and vote for you, yourself, you need to stay with them. You need to engage with them. You need to talk with them. You need to understand their needs. You need to understand their point of view as well. In a way that by understanding their point of view, they'll tell you, we have been voting before, but the system has always been this way. What are you going to do that is so different that in case we put you this time round, you're going to do it differently? And by them understanding your point of view and you understanding their point of view, it makes it very easy for the both of the parties, to come up together and come up with the best decision at the end of the day.
Very true.
Yeah.
Right, I'll be asking you later on as we finish on how the youth can discern between these different politicians and the aspirants that we have, and how they can look into a few factors before they come out from coming out with a concrete decision and say this one, we should vote this one and vote out this one.
Okay.
That of course will be coming at our last part of the show. But before even I take a short break here, there is a point that is coming out on the need of the youths to have a sober mind in discussions about our politics and how they can critically analyze issues. It calls for sobriety and need to sit down and understand and look into so keenly.
Right.
Is it something that youths are doing out there?
Well, first of all, if we take a look at it in that way, we do all have to be in a proper mindset. We have to be sane, not insane, but we have to be sane in a way that we don't have to make decisions based on by rush or thoughts or just being told I'm going to do this for you. You have to sit down, analyze stuff, discuss in a way that that the decision that is going to be final is going to make an effect to you. And saying an effect to you, it means we as the youths, we do have brothers, sisters, and relatives as well. So whatever political decision that we decide to make should actually be of sane mind. We have to know that this is the right decision that we're going to take, and out of that, this is what we're going to gain ourselves in the society.
Very true. Right. Now, allow me to take another short break here. When we come back, we'll be summing up on that matter. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, I've been speaking to Cephas Kimani, who is one of the few individuals that we have here in Boss TV who are so much into matters about the youths. He's a youth enthusiastic, and he's so much also he's so much vocal in talking about issues about the youths. That's why I had to find him and give him an opportunity to have a discussion surrounding the need of the youths to take up the voting card, an exercise that kicked off on Monday, and it's running all the way in the next 30 days. The IEBC seeks to enroll and list new 6 million voters in relation to the preparedness of the 2022 general election. Now, we're taking a short break here. We will be coming back in a moment. Don't go too far. We already have the card, and we are waiting for the 2022 general election.
Yes.
The period between now and 2022, what are we supposed to be doing in terms of bringing the change that we are supposed to bring?
Yeah, that's a really nice question, actually. What we are supposed to do right now is that as the youths, we should also have, some, at least through following the protocols set by the Ministry of Health, but we should hold some a little bit of social gathering that is educative, in a way that we should come together and start from the beginning. Look at some of the things that has been happening for the last 4 years, the last term as well. We should look at where we were before and where we are right now and where we want to be in the near future.
Right.
We already have the cards, but we should think critically. What have we been given? What have we been assisted? Either through the support of resources or either by, ensuring that we are also, involved in the building of our nation as well, and also in the political, setup. But the major thing that we should do right now is, to every individual as a youth to sit down, have that, personal gathering of yourself and ask yourself, what impact do you want to be made for your own personal self,
right,
either directly or indirectly. And by that, it will assist us to know what sort of leaders that we do want in our future. What sort of leaders do we need to elect?
Right.
What sort of leaders can bring the change? What sort of leaders do know that the youth do matter, and also on our political setup,
right,
what are some of the, channels and setup that has been made to ensure that the youths themselves, are well taken care of, basically because, they are the future. And by doing so, we are going to make the right decision. By looking at that, we should also be very cautious of what we take in.
All right.
Because different aspirants will come, telling us that, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. These are my agendas. This is what I've done. This is what I'm going to do. But in reality, without, having that critical decision before setting up that critical decision, we should first know that we don't have to elect people by what they say,
right,
or what they are planning to do, but we should take a look at them in a way that, what do we see in them? Are these people, is this leader really going to do something, for our future? And by that, definitely you're going to have made a good decision for our own self.
Every election cycle, it is said that youth should not be used to cause chaos and, the things that do normally happen around the election period. This time round, that conversation still continues. Youths out there have been asked not to allow to be used by the politicians. Why is it this conversation ongoing? This is the 21st century. We're not beginning election at this time.
Right.
How should we, or rather, what do you think should be the case? We should not be talking about causing chaos, what have you. Youths should not be engaged into some kind of behaviors during the election period. How do you think it should we go about it?
Well, from the beginning, I'm going to say that it is the right of anyone to, it is every Kenyan citizen has the right to vote. When you have gotten to that, to that age, you are allowed to vote. And for the youths themselves, there has been this sort of behavior. Actually, it is a very bad vice whereby they are being used, especially during or even at the upcoming of an election, during the election, and also sometimes after the election.
Itself.
Yeah.
Right.
But what should be done is that the youth should not engage themselves in sort of actions to cause chaos, to bring violence, and also these people who are trying to, or who are aspiring to become political leaders in the near future, or even to still maintain their seats, they should be wiser, because we, the youths ourselves, as we have said, we are the ones who are making our country. We are the ones who bring the growth to our country. And the moment that we mess with our population, the moment we mess with our state, our state of mind, our state of, well-being, physical, even the businesses that we have set up, that is going to be a major problem for us. So the politicians themselves should come up with ways at which they can, educate the youths on matters that is going to bring a positive change. The actions that they are going to take that is going to bring, a proper and a smooth, activities that are going to be taking place even before the elections, during the elections, and also after
the elections.
Yeah.
Very true. Right. And speaking about the elections, we've seen so many youths coming out and saying they will be vying for different positions.
Right.
How does it make you feel, you as a youth?
Yeah, me as a youth, actually, I do feel extremely pleased, because there are ways that I know that by us taking that path as well, we are going, for us as the youths ourselves, we are going to have some positive impact in a way that, as I said before, if we sit down as the youths and we say that we are going to elect a certain youth, or if a political leader comes and has a discussion with us, he or she is going to understand what really matters to the youths themselves directly. If we choose to elect a leader who is going to be a youth,
right,
most definitely he's going to know that, this is what is needed, this is the sort of support that is needed from, from the youth, and what assistance also as well that we need. And regarding that matter, whereby we're having youths aspiring to be politicians in the near future, or even in future, we are also trying to set, a certain pace also for the coming generation that is, behind us. By that, even for them, when they become the youth, or if they get, when they get to the youth, space or the youth sector, they will also know that, okay, so we can by our own self choose to elect, the youths. We don't have only to elect people who have always been there with no, with no change happening in our society. Yes.
Right. But in short?
My parting shot will be that let's make Kenya great as the youths, and also let us not be influenced. Let us not, consume negative things that are going to make us, end up doing things that are not right for us. And also let us take it as our responsibility to be patriotic. Let us come out in large numbers. Let us, as we approach the election, let us come out in large numbers and elect people who are going to bring change to our society, because we, the youths, are actually the key element for our country's growth.
Right.
Yeah.
Of course. Key element of the country's growth.
Yeah.
Key element in the prosperity of the country.
Yes.
And all that you can do is make sure that you pick up that voting card during this time of the voting registration exercise and wait for the 11 months, as long as we move closer to the 2022 general election, and do the honorable thing. Vote in wisely leaders who can help you and take Kenya forward. Thank you so much, Kimani, for coming.
You're so much welcome.
Where can they catch you?
You can catch me every Friday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. The Talk Circle. That is the place we discuss and talk about factors and matters like this one that affects the youths and society. Yeah.
Right.